Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you're having a great day. We have some beautiful fall weather coming in. The weather's been beautiful, and the trees are just erupting with color. It's been so pretty. So I hope I hope if you're in a place where the seasons change, that you're really enjoying those colors. Get out and enjoy them because it's so pretty, and it comes and goes so quickly. It'll just be winter before we know it, which I'm really dreading. But anyway, enough of my babbling. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 9th through the 15th. And during that time, we'll have a waning gibbous moon, which is a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth. We're coming off that high energy of the full moon, but it's a good time to make positive changes and really get rid of bad habits and negative thinking. So think about those things. We move into that last quarter moon energy, and that is a really good time for reflection, releasing what no longer is serving us, and getting ready for new beginnings. So we need to let go, take responsibility for our past actions, and moving forward with kind of a clear vision of what we would like to do on the next cycle when that begins on the new moon. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So Pisces, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading is meditate and contemplate. All right, let's see what the Pisces Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you keep a spiritual journal. And, this is something that I recommend. I started doing it and I love it because I realize sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving. But if you're keeping a spiritual journal, you can kind of look back through, time and see, oh, that's when I had that dream. And look, that thing came to fruition, that dream I had 2 years ago or whatever. Oh, here's when I started encountering this number, and that, this angel number has meant this to me, and I encountered this other number, or, different synchronistic things, these animals that you encountered. I know I need to jot in my journal today because I last night encountered some coyotes, and there were sirens going off, and we're kind of in a residential area, but there's a wooded area behind us, and these coyotes are so close, and there's so many of them, like a pack, which is a little scary. But my daughter and I, we went out to record them. She was here with me, and we heard the sirens go and just heard these howlings. So anytime I encounter an animal like that, it makes me think that's not normal, for me to hear that many coyotes. So I want to take the essence of that animal, which I was reading this morning, and it's like trickery, and they can be very mischievous, that sort of thing. And I need to somehow apply that to something that's going on in my life. So I'll write that in my spiritual journal as something that I'm learning, and I'll have to kind of meditate and really think about what is going on in my life that I need to apply, kind of more of a sense of humor or trickery or fun into. So I will, and then apply that. So anyway, all that to say, it's good to keep a spiritual journal for when you learn those lessons. And it's just good to have it to come back and refer to. All right. So let's get into this reading. I'm sorry, all my babbling this morning, but it was just an interesting thing. Okay. Pisces, November 9th through the 15th. Meditate and contemplate. Let's see what you guys have going on for the week. All right, your overall present energy right now is moving towards the future here with the Six of Swords, and moving towards the future in very calm waters. This could be moving towards new thoughts, new ideas, new things that are coming in for you, but just really kind of moving that way. And maybe these are some goals that you've set in the past, and you're just kind of moving towards those in a very calm manner. So that's great. Your current situation is the Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords is about having some sort of mental breakthrough, or like an idea that comes to you, or kind of an aha moment, like, oh, I didn't realize that. And this could be due to you moving forward this way. If you're moving forward kind of in towards different ideas than the way you've been living your life, let's say in the last year. Maybe something has come about, and all of a sudden, just doing that gives you kind of an idea for something. So that's nice. That's kind of creativity that comes in, a breakthrough on how to handle a problem or something. So that's pretty awesome to get that Ace of Swords there. All right. At the root of your situation is the King of Swords. So, King of Swords is someone who's very knowledgeable about their particular element. So, this is someone who's very knowledgeable about, intellect, but also very knowledgeable about communication. And that's the energy that you're sitting in. You're very, whatever it is that you're speaking about, you've put the time in to really understand and know the thing that you're talking about, and you're very logical about it, and you also have no problem speaking about it. You know a thing and you can speak it. I mean, look at all these swords coming in this reading so far. What is in your recent past? More swords. Interesting, with the Eight of Swords. And this is about feeling stuck in something. So you may have just had this breakthrough this week. You've been feeling stuck about a particular thing. How do I manage this thing that's going on? But you've done enough research. You're moving towards the future in a way that's kind of new. You've broken through this with this mental breakthrough here. Look at all these swords. You've really, really got stuff going on in your mind. Again, your overall card was to meditate and contemplate. So you're definitely in that mode this week, very much in your mind this week. What is on your mind this week, now that you're in it, is the Moon card. Very interesting here too. So this is our card of mysterious paths that, I was talking about keeping that spiritual journal because, those synchronicities, there's those coyotes in the night, things that come through that you're not even sure, like when it comes to intuition, you're not even sure why you think a thing. You just know it. You just know it with all your being. It's very, acting on instinct, but it's this could be something that came to you like in a dream. And you're not even really sure why, again, but it's definitely on your mind. You look at all these swords. Your mind is about, I want to move towards the future in a particular way. I've had this idea. I was feeling stuck about it, but you're also, it's like you're using your intuition and your logic, which I really like. That's like, what a great balance to do things. What is just ahead of you this week is the Ace of Wands. So this is a very interesting reading, Pisces. So you're going to move through into your future, and you're going to feel very passionate. The Wands are our element of fire. This is something that you feel very strongly about, and you're definitely going to move through. This is something that you're just super passionate. It's kind of new. You're newly passionate about it. So it could be this great idea that you've had, and all of a sudden you just add the fire to the air, and what do you get? When those elements combine, you get just the big explosion of energy and power. So whatever that is, whatever this big idea, you're definitely passionate about it and you really believe in it. In your advice position is the Sun. So the advice is to be happy about this. I feel like this is a good breakthrough for you, whatever this is, and you're going to move forward in a positive way, and it's going to make you very happy in the end. So whatever this decision that you just made, and you're very passionate about it, you're certainly not over here feeling stuck anymore. You're very happy about it. So go ahead and sit, and just enjoy that feeling for a little bit. Meditate and contemplate on that. Instead of, a lot of times we get stuck and we just kind of get stuck in the being stuck. And it's way more fun to meditate on happiness and how you can move forward in a positive manner and throw light on the entire situation. What is beyond your control this week is the Six of Cups. So this is this is our card of reminiscing about the past. This could be reminiscing about your childhood, someone from your past, from your childhood, and it's thinking about those things with fond thoughts. And so whatever this is for you, maybe it's a childhood friend, something from your childhood that's really just really making you think, and it's kind of opening your heart a little bit. And that's just beyond your control. That maybe while you're meditating, that this happy thought, these happy times come into you, some kind of memory coming in from that's going to affect this entire situation too, or entire situation is kind of making you think of that. So that's pretty awesome there. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the Two of Wands. So this is your big question of the week. Are you trying to avoid thinking about moving on to the future, making that move? Our two is kind of about the pondering. It's like you've had um, you've had you're having a successful time, right? And this card is kind of asking you, do you want to stay here where you are, or do you want to go bigger? There's a whole, you've got the world in your hands and you're good. You're good right now. Do you want to stay there or you want to go bigger? And that's your secret desire, or that's what you're trying to avoid. That's a lot to really take in and a big question, but that's your big question of the week is, do you want to stay where you are, or are you trying to take it even bigger? So ask yourself that question. There's no right or wrong. Of course, it'll be different. Some Pisces will answer one way, some will answer the other. We know we're all taking different paths here, but that'll be your big question this week. In your outcome position is yet another ace. Wow, 3 aces. I'm going to take a drink here of my coffee. Also, anytime I get a little frog in my throat when I'm doing a reading, it makes me think you need to speak up about this. There's someone that you need to tell this to, discuss with, whatever, but you need to speak up about it. So, in your outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. And Ace of Pentacles is definitely about a new financial opportunity that comes in. And, is this luck? I think the Taurus reading this week was all about all the luck cards. It was just really amazing. But you've got so many aces. This is just so many new beginnings. I feel like whatever decision you've made, it's new beginnings and it's going to work out for you intellectually, also in the passion. It's something you're really going to be able to get behind, but also financially, it's going to work out for you. So, whatever it is that you're working on, I'm going to say keep going. You're just getting to the Sun card. What is hidden from you this week is the Knight of Cups. And this is maybe, like I was saying, to tell someone about it. This is, coming to someone with that emotional that emotional cup, with your heart open to talk about something. This could just be your partner. Hey, I've had this idea, let's start discussing this. This could be a friend of yours, a family member, something, but you want to come to them and say, hey, I'm having this idea or this thing, I'm moving forward with it, I'm very excited about it. And they're going to want to support you and be there for you too. And it's just a good thing to be able to bounce things off. This could be someone from your past, some family member even. So, or maybe a friend from your past. Hey, I've had this idea and this is something I know you've gone through. What do you think about this? So definitely, think about who that is that you need to at least open up and share this information with. So again, meditate and contemplate is your overall reading. So we're really thinking about all of this. And I also think since the moon card is really prominent on your mind, why did you have an intuition about this earlier? Did you have a dream about this particular thing earlier? That's how the universe kind of guides us and points us in certain directions. So think about that as well. Let's get a final message card here for Pisces. Final message for Pisces, November 9 through 15. Okay, this card right here. Accept what is dying. Very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this card. I mean, here we are in the autumn, accepting what is dying and how beautiful it is because, while the trees, they're not dying, they're going to sleep, but it is pretty, So and I would say with this, accept what is dying is accept, maybe this card here, some of you will want to stay, but some of you you want to move forward. And that's just life. It's like, it's never, I promise you the next 6 months of your life are not going to be like the last 6 months. And that's just how life, that's just the flow of life. Each year brings on something different. And just about the time, honestly, just about the time you think you have a handle on it, don't worry, it's going to change. So that's just the way it happens. Let's see what Pisces needs to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Pisces, November 9 through 15. Okay, Pamper is the card that you get. That's a lovely bathtub. Look at the little cat. Self-care is a necessity, not a luxury. So definitely, as you're meditating, maybe, get that bubble bath, get in there and meditate and contemplate. Water is a great way of doing that. Water is about emotion, and you may just relax in that. Just relax in a big tub of emotion for a little bit. So Pisces, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use. I love this reading. I love all the aces. I just think that, aces really represent just new things, new thoughts, new ideas, new passions, new money. It's just a lot of new coming in for you this week, which I really love. So anyway, please share with me a comment down below if you had some new things come in for you this week. I'd be very curious too to know what this intuitive thing was. Did you have an alignment of some intuition of something that you've kind of thought all along and all of a sudden it's happening? Because I find that fascinating. It happens to me all the time. Anyway, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and I would really appreciate that. But more importantly, Pisces, it'll help you find me next week where you can come back. We can see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thanks so much. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.